Hi, you will learn how to add and subtract dissimilar fractions. Before we start, let's first recall the following. A fraction has two parts. The upper portion is what we call as the numerator, and the lower portion is what we call as the denominator. Here's how to simplify a fraction. Fraction 4 over 8 is not in simplified form. To simplify this fraction, we need to find the GCF, or the greatest common factor of the numerator, which is 4, and the denominator, which is 8. Let's start with 4. The factors of 4 is 2 because 2 times 2 is 4. 1 and 4 are also factors of 4 because 1 times 4 is 4. Now let's have 8. The factors of 8 are 2 and 4 because 2 times 4 is 8. 1 and 8 are also a factor because 1 times 8 is equal to 8. Now to determine the GCF, we need to search for the biggest factor that is common to 4 and 8. That factor is 4. So to simplify the fraction 4 over 8, we need to divide each number by 4. Dividing each number by 4 will result to 1/2. And 1/2 is the simplified form of 4 over 8. A fraction can be classified as similar and dissimilar fraction. We say that fractions are similar if they have the same denominator. And we say that fractions are dissimilar if they have different denominator. In this video, we will focus on dissimilar fractions. Now let's start adding and subtracting dissimilar fractions. Here we have to add two dissimilar fractions, 1/2 plus 1/3. Again, they're dissimilar because their denominator is different. To solve this one, let's first rewrite the fractions in vertical form. To add dissimilar fractions, we need to change them to similar fractions. For them to be similar, they must have the same denominator. So we need to find a new denominator which will fit to 1/2 and 1/3. To do that, we need to find the LCD of the two denominators. So the two denominators are 2 and 3. To find the LCD, we need to list the multiples of each number. Let's start with 2. That's just 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on and so forth. Next we have 3. That's just 3, 6, 9, and so on and so forth. Now, which multiples of 2 are also multiples of 3? That multiple is 6. So our new denominator is 6. Next, we need to determine our new numerator. Let's start with the first one. So to determine the new numerator, here's what you need to do. Divide the new denominator to our previous denominator. That's 6 divided by 2. And the answer to that is 3. Next, we multiply 3 to the numerator. That's just 3 times 1. And the answer is 3. So our new numerator is 3. Let's proceed with the second fraction. Again, to determine the numerator, we divide 6 by 3. And the answer to that is 2. We then multiply 2 to 1. And the answer to that is 2. Now that our new fractions are similar, we can then start adding them. To add similar fractions, we simply add the numerator and copy the denominator. So first, add the numerators. 3 plus 2 is 5. Last, we copy the denominator. In this case, it's 6. So the final answer is 5 over 6. In this example, we need to subtract two dissimilar fractions. So again, to make it easier, let's rewrite this in vertical form. To subtract dissimilar fractions, we need to change them to similar fractions. Again, we do that by finding the LCD of the denominator. In this case, it's 8 and 4. To find the LCD, we need to list their multiples. Let's start with 8. That's just 8, 16, 24, and so on and so forth. Next, we have 4, whose multiples are 4, 8, 12, 16, and so on and so forth. Now, what do you think is their LCD? If your answer is 16, then you're wrong. Take note, LCD means least common denominator. So we need to choose the least or the smallest common multiples of 8 and 4. That number is 8. So our new denominator is 8. Now let's determine our new numerator. To do that, we simply divide the new denominator to the previous one. That's just 8 divided by 8. And the answer to that is 1. Next, we multiply 1 to the numerator. We have 1 times 6. So the numerator is 6. As you can see, there's no changes in our minuend. It's because the denominator that we use was never changed for this fraction. Let's proceed to the subtrahend. To determine the new numerator, we divide 8 by 4, and the answer to that is 2. We then multiply 2 to the numerator, which is 1. So the answer to that is 2. Now the two fractions are already similar, so now we can subtract. Again, to subtract similar fraction, you simply subtract the numerator. So we have 6 minus 2, and the answer to that is 4. Next, we copy the denominator. In this case, it's 8. So the answer to this operation is 4 over 8. But take note, we can still simplify 4 over 8. We simplify by dividing the fraction to its GCF, which is 4. So if we divide it by 4, the simplified answer will become 1/2. Now, here's a question. What if we have to add a whole number and a fraction, such as this? What do you think is the answer? If your answer is 3/4, then you're wrong. Adding a whole number and a fraction simply means that we have to combine them. So 2 plus 1/4 is just equal to 2 and 1/4. Now, what if instead of adding, we need to subtract a number and a fraction? Now, there are different methods to choose from in dealing with this. But in this video, I will only show you one method. Since 2 is not a fraction, then we need to change this to its fractional form. To know the new numerator, we simply multiply 2 to the denominator of our subtrahend, which is 4. That's just 2 times 4, and the answer is 8. So our new numerator is 8. Next, we need to find our denominator. And since we can only subtract similar fraction, then this means that our denominator must also be 4. Now that 2 is already a fraction, we can then bring down 1/4 and subtract the 2 fractions. The answer to that is simply 7 over 4, or if you want to change it to mixed fraction, we have 1 3/4. Here's a summary of the steps we take in adding and subtracting dissimilar fractions.